Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Julius and tonight we continue Tsukihime. Where do we leave off? There was a white light, and that's all I remember. So yeah, we'll continue from here, I guess. About time. I've been meaning to play again. It's been a while. Chapter 9. Death. Oh. White. There it is, white light. A color that evokes nostalgic memories. Things that have been forgotten. Things that shouldn't have been forgotten. Things that my father ordered me to forget. A hot summer day. A blue sky with huge towering cumulonimbus. I don't even know how. What is this? What is this word? Cumulonimbus clouds. Already off to a great start. Beautiful, amazing. How do you say this? Come on. Google, tell me. I need to know words. Okay, here we go. How do you say this?
Cumulonimbus.
No, not in Spanish. Okay, wait. No, okay, here.
Cumulonimbus.
Okay. A blue sky with huge, towering cumulonimbus clouds. Beautiful. There we go. A landscape blanketed in a shimmering haze. And the overwhelming cries of the cicadas. The sound of cicadas. Chirp, 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 chirp. Chirp, 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 chirp. Chirp, 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 chirp. It's so loud that I want to die. The husks of cicadas litter the open ground. What is this song? This sounds creepy. What the fuck? This space is slowly being burned away, as though the sun is right on top of us. A hot day in the middle of summer, as if the world had turned into a frying pan. Wow. What the fuck is this? Oh. Wee! Akiha is crying. Akiha, who had always meekly followed us around, is sobbing uncontrollably. Oh, so we're gonna learn about the event now. Okay. A child lies, crumpled in the clearing. A deep red stain has blossomed on their white shirt. They don't move so much as an eyebrow. That's a lot of blood. What the fuck happened? I'm gazing down at the scene before me. My hands are red. Red like the child collapsed in a heap on the floor. No, that's not right. My hands are red. Red with the blood of the living being collapsed in a heap on the floor. What did he do? The adults have arrived. As they realize what they're looking at, the color drains from their faces. The adults take Akiha away. The collapsed child remains dead. Brilliant white clouds drift across the distant sky. I'm left all alone, staring vacantly up into the summer sky above. The adults are screaming at me. They're screaming the name of the person who killed that child. My name. They scream just those two syllables over and over. as though they've lost their minds. Just 2 syllables. The adults form into a group and pin me down en masse. Me with my hands stained a deep red. Me, the one they call Shiki. What did he do? What the fuck? Eh? Even now, I still don't understand it. Killing those you can kill. Killing those that live. What exactly is wrong with that? It's kind of messed up, bro. I open my eyes. I feel like I just saw quite a nostalgic dream, one I couldn't fully understand. I'm in my room. After the events of last night, my memories of what happened by the main gate are a little hazy, but it seems like I managed to make it back to my room, one way or another. Wait, I collapsed onto... Eh? How do we get in the room? We collapsed onto the... at the front gate, and then a panther came out of nowhere. Eh? And battle nuns. Wow. My mind obstinately refuses to work properly. Last night's event come back to me in a jumbled mess. Everything was so ridiculous that it's hard for me to put my thoughts in order. But if there's one thing that stands out, it's... Arcueid, the shadowy figure of Noel, Sensei. I will say... Arcueid. Being in the heat about blood. I mean, how could she not stand out? True to form, she had me wrapped around her finger from the minute she staged her daylight raid on our school to the end of our nightly patrol. Unless we forget, there was also the incredible show she put on for me during the fight in the apartment the dead had taken over. 7 days ago, I wouldn't even be able to imagine such a scene. Keeping up with her just gets more demanding by the day. It's getting to the point where I feel I ought to tell her to rein it in a bit. Although, I do have to give her credit for the fact that she's, in her own way, taking care to make sure that I don't get hurt. That, and the fact that there is never a dull moment when she's around. As a result, when I try to think of complaints or grievances I have with her, I come up empty-handed. And in that moment, sussy. Well, having a drink in your side. Soda water. The one thing that's bothering me is that reaction. I'm sure she's just paying the price for being so rambunctious even though her wounds haven't healed yet. When I get the chance tonight, I'll try and confirm if she really has fully recovered or not. I still have plenty of things I need to think about. But right now, I need to get myself out of bed. The time is 7:30. I'd normally be long finished with breakfast by this hour. She's normally standing deferently to the side of the room, but there's no sign of her today. She must have already tried to wake me up several times. I assume that since I wouldn't wake up, she's stepping out of the room between attempts to tend to her other duties. I take a deep breath. This time, I'll take a nap before I meet up with Arcueid for the evening. I won't think about all the strange things that happened last night for now. I should save that for tonight and discuss them with Arcueid. If I can't even live an ordinary life during the day, I might end up doing something drastic. Oh yeah, breakfast time! I may not have an appetite, but You can't start the day on an empty stomach. A proper breakfast should help clear up any lingering fatigue from last night. Oh. I lift myself out of bed, but my body just comes crashing right back down again. I'm like a tree being felled by a lumberjack. I fall straight down, slamming my shoulder into the wooden floor. Ow! There's no strength in my limbs. I can't even get up. On the bright side, my consciousness is a bit hazy, so I don't feel afraid. My body may be totally numb, but at least my breathing's normal. My anemia again, I think to myself, indifferently. You sure it's anemia? And so I simply lay where I fell. I watched the hands of the clock tick by as I waited for Hisui to call on me again, which ended up being just past 8 o'clock.
No,
I won't punish you. You didn't do anything.
It's
okay.
翡翠は悪くないよ。いつものことだし、そう大げさに取らない。
I try and talk Hisui out of... I try and talk Hisui down off the ledge while lying in bed, the upper half of my body propped against the headboard. Hisui had found me collapsed on the floor when she came back to check on the room and helped me back into bed, where I am now resting comfortably.
That's good, that's good.
Yes.
それで頼む。ちょっと疲れが溜まっていただけだから、学校を休むのは後ろめたいけどね。
立てなくなるほどの疲れは、もう疲れとは言えないかと存じます。
This is true.
四季様は遠野家の長男。ご自分のお体をもっと大切にしていただかなければ困ります。
Yeah, that's well past fatigue, bro.
いや、ちゃんと大切にしてるよ。
Hisui scolds me, and I respond while putting on a forced smile. It's incredible just how panicked Hisui was after finding me on the floor. When she first opened the door, she froze in her tracks for a few seconds. Next, she rushed over as though to hoist me upright, but then seized up with a strained look on her face for another minute. She then spent another few minutes pacing anxiously around the room before finally going to call for Kohaku-san. In the end, Hisui never actually touched my body, but I could still tell how devoted she was. After that, I returned to the bed with Kohaku-san's assistance, was treated to some easy to digest rice porridge, and now here we are. The one silver lining in all this is that Akiha had already left for school. If I had collapsed 30 minutes earlier, she might have ended up late for school as well.
とにかくありがとう、翡翠。美味しいご飯も食べたし、こうしていれば貧血も収まるから、仕事に戻っていいよ。
かしこまりました。ですが、せめて診察は受けていただきます。
Okay.
今朝は
The
荒木
crazy
先
lady.
生がいらっしゃいます
Oh,
の
there
で、
she is.
これを機に
Oh no.
しっかりお体を見ていただくのはいかがでしょうか。
Okay.
Oh, so that eccentric doctor is here as well. To be honest, I don't need a medical exam, but I don't think Hisui will leave unless I agree. If I have to, then... Ooh, what do I want? Well, Araki-sensei has looked after us before. It's a bit weird, but...
She did the job, I guess.
It's okay.
Help me again, please.
That's right. Kohaku-san is probably busy enough as it is with her duties as a maid. I'll ask Professor Araki to handle this instead. I may have a bit of a hard time feeling at ease around her, but I can't deny that she's a professional. Since she specializes in surgery, I should have her examine my wounds. There's also a chance I suffered some heavy bruising as a result of my scuffle with Noelle-sensei last night, so it might be wise to have her check for that too, just to be on the safe side. No, she had. Uh-oh.
ご指名と聞いてやってきたけど
Hello.
お客さん悪いところは見当たらないわよ、腕の一本目玉の一つがめっちゃってるかと期待して飛んできたのにこれじゃ私欲求不満よ、性的な意味もあるけど主に知識欲の話ね。
I mean, I think it's good we don't have a blown off arm.
Despite continuing to grumble discontentedly along those lines, Professor Arak dutifully performed a thorough medical examination for me. I was a little worried about whether my legs were recovering properly after that battle against Vrov, so after she was done listening to my heartbeat and checking my pulse, I asked her to give them a once-over as well. The results were all normal. No problems. Professor Arak isn't able to contain herself, pouting and grumbling that just who am I supposed to be? What is fruitless?
ま、体温は少しだけ下がってるしよし、つまんないから1本ぐらいお注射決めておきましょう。
Wait, what? For what?
今回は試しにプラセンタ行ってみる？もともと女性向けの栄養剤だけどおすすめよこれ。
Why? I guess she's talking about the extract derived from a woman's placenta? People mostly use it as a beauty treatment to improve their skin, but it can actually also help you recover from fatigue, and even combat the effects of aging.
This is true.
お願いします。以前お世話になっていた医院でもたまに打ってもらっていましたから。
あらあら、話が早くて助かるわ。さすが病弱少年、痛いのは慣れているのね。
慣れてませんよ。基本は内服薬でしたし、注射はたまにしかありませんでした。
ふむふむ。はーい、じゃあもう一度お手手を出して。はーい、ザッキュー。幹部ごと患者のハート1コロよ。
That might be the worst needle prick sound effect I've ever heard. With the injection complete, the medical examination comes to an end. However, I would have expected Professor Arak to leave now that her work is done, but she simply stays exactly where she is, staring intently at my body.
博士、何かまだ他に要件？
そうなの。診察中にチラッと見えちゃったから気になって。
Like what?
しきちゃん、ガバッと洋服脱いでくれる？
はあ？脱ぐって裸ですか？
No pee-pee allowed.
そうそうそう。あ、真っ赤になる必要はないわよ。
Oh, okay, that's fine.
私もまだトースちゃんに殺されたくないし。見たいのはしきちゃんの上半身。
Oh, the scar.
胸にすっごい傷跡があるんじゃない？
そっちですか。まあいいですけど。
I don't particularly want to do this, but since Professor Arak is a doctor, I have no real reason to refuse her. I take off my shirt and sit on top of the bed.
いいじゃないいいじゃない。メープルで楽しいな感じ。いい腕してるって思ったけど、こうして全体として見るとそそるわ。冬ごもって穴蔵ライフになってもしきちゃん一人いれば食うに困らないわ。あたし。
What? Wow.
Professor Arak pokes and prods me all over my shoulders, up her arms and sides, looking like she's thoroughly enjoying herself.
Hello, Manalish. Welcome, welcome.
Hope everyone for today. Thank you for stopping by. We're continuing Tsukihime. Combined with her rather revealing garments, I have to admit I find myself struggling to suppress my... Basa? Basa? What's this? I've never heard of this. My basser urges?
胸の傷跡を見るんじゃないですか。
おっと、そうだった。はい。おー、なるほど。なんか使ったにせよ、完全に塞がってるわ。貧弱なのに代謝機能は人並みというか、生き残りやすいというか。すっごく残念。しきちゃん何も引くものがないんだもの。これじゃあ私も足しようがないって感じ？
After 2 minutes of careful examination, Professor Oda gets up from the bed. Curiosity seemingly satisfied.
でも、すっごい傷よね。普通の人間どころか、映画に出てくる吸血鬼だって死んでるわよ。それ。事故に遭った時はどのくらい痛かったのかしら？私、想像するだけでドキドキしちゃう。
Get out of here, you sadist! What the hell you talking about?
そうですか。
Bruh.
ガラス片が降ってきて突き刺したらしいです。
I forgot it was pounding a huge fragment of flying glass. Yeah, that would have done a lot of damage. I got a little flustered by the sudden mention of vampires and blurted out an unnecessary explanation. Let me just No!
あれ、覚えてないの？
I mean, then I would have to. I mean, what?
なら、それはまた別の話としましょう。しきちゃんはここに帰ってきちゃったんだもの。どうあがいても、もう逃げられっこないんだし。
Hold on. Is it me or did this woman just say something strange? Eh? Eh? Was this? It's not like you could run away now, no matter how hard you. What the hell?
なんて、なんでもない、なんにもない。
Why is everyone so sassy here?
それじゃあ私はこれにて退場。またいつか、ラブのタイミングがあった時に会えるといいわね。
Okay, shushy lady. Bye bye.
Professor Arak leaves the room, her heels clicking against the floor as she goes. What was that about? I'm not sure why, but a retreating figure reminds me of a spider slinking towards its prey. Wow.
Well, we're stuck in the room.
It's now the afternoon. After finishing a light lunch in the dining room, I return to my room. Isui had been emphatic. Oh. Isui had been emphatic about the fact that I should spend today resting, but I now find myself without anything to do.
体の調子は戻ったんだし、ここは。
You've recovered already? Okay. Let's go around the second floor. After pondering what to do for a bit, I decide to take my first real stroll around the mansion in 7 years. I'll start by wandering around the second floor. The Tono mansion consists of 2 wings, east and west. To the east is the office reserved for the head of the family, and beyond that are Akiha's private quarters. You could consider the whole area to be her domain. I am a bit hesitant to go there, so I'll stick to the west wing today. I go out into the corridor of the west wing. The passage directly to my right leads to the lobby. If I continue straight, the corridor will take me to the heart of the west wing. And of course, if I go backwards, I'll be right back in my own room. I was told that the rooms opening onto this corridor are, for the most part, entirely vacant. I need water.
1 second. Oh, the dog is falling asleep next to me. So cute.
It seems like they were rented out to our relatives back when my father was alive.
この先の行き止まりが確か
I'm pretty sure that's the room Tono Makihisa used as a study. Arcueid's words from last night come to mind.
You can't assume you're the only one special. You're the only special one. It's something that runs in the family.
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but she would never say something like that without good reason. Oh, there's a lot of choices in this chapter. Okay.
I will investigate.
秋葉は学校に行っている、琥珀さんは買い物で留守、翡翠は1階で清掃中か。
Right now, I'm the only one in this corridor. Rummaging through a dead man's room may be against the rules, but I'm a member of this family, aren't I? It can't be that big of a deal for a son to enter his father's room. Oh, it's locked. The room at the end of the corridor is locked. I take my glasses off and survey the line on the lock.
Big brain.
There's no going back now. I glance around the corridor to confirm nobody has spotted me, then slip inside.
なんだこの部屋。暗すぎないか。
You can't make a room this dark just by drawing the curtains. I put a hand on the wall and start groping for the light switch, but then think better of it. Turning on the lights might alert someone on the outside to my presence here. It's possible I'm just being overly cautious, but I'll limit myself to using the light on my phone to look around. Wow.
なんだ。思ったより片付いているじゃないか。
The interior design is reminiscent of the office that Akiha now uses. Well, our old man was still using this room up until a month ago, so no surprises there. Even the bookshelves are still arranged as he left them. The only puzzling thing here is why it's so damn dark. I point my phone towards the window to try and spot what's going on with the curtains.
What the fuck?
There I find a bizarre seal. The sort you'd never expect to see in an ordinary room.
鉄格子。なんで
It's enough to make me doubt my own eyes. But, unbelievable as it is, the thing in front of me now is definitely real. The window in Makihisa's room has been completely sealed shut. It's not dark in here because of a few blackout curtains blocking all the sunlight. It's because this massive iron grille has been firmly secured over the entire window. The grille looks as though it's designed to prevent anyone entering from the outside. Or perhaps its purpose was to keep something locked inside. This is bad. I don't know what this darkness is trying to reveal to me, but I can tell it's a secret that should never come to light. This place is a cage built to contain madness. I need to get out of this room immediately. Nobody can know that I was in here. Not Akiha, not Kohaku-san. Nobody. If they were to find out, I have a suspicion that there would be no going back to the relationship we've enjoyed up until now.
いや、ここまで来て何ビビってるんだ、俺は。
What the heck?
I press on, lighting the way with my phone. I'm curious about the bookshelves, but I don't have time to go through them right now. Having a look through the drawers in Makihisa's desk takes priority. I don't know what exactly I'm looking for, but my old man was extremely meticulous. There's a good chance they contain documents pertaining to the company, Akiha, or even myself. There was nothing in the desk drawers. Or at least, nothing in the first two, which were already unlocked. The third drawer is shut tight. I guess that nobody was able to open it after he died, so it just got forgotten about. Once again, I take off my glasses and kill the lock.
The master of unlocking.
日記帳かこれ。
Oh. Inside was a bundle of old papers and a thick diary. The papers seem to be the Tono family tree.
なんだってこんなところに。
Hmm?
けど、随分と古い紙だな。
I wonder how many generations have left their mark on these pieces of paper. There's no mistaking it. Below the name of Tono Makihisa are the names of Tono Shiki and Tono Akiha. They're there, but...
なんだこれ。親父のやつ、
ん
9年前に養子を取ってる。あ、
9 years ago. I would have been 8 years old. I know it was a long time ago, but even so, I don't remember them at all. Maybe he had a child with a mistress and was keeping them a secret somewhere outside the mansion. Was someone so unbearably uptight as Makihisa even capable of a thing like that?
そんなわけないか。
Hmm.
けど、うちの当主ってみんな短命なんだな。親父も50前に病死したわけだし、その前は30歳の時に事故死。
Bruh.
その
Wait. Hold on. Something definitely doesn't add up here. I scan over the family tree again, but taking a closer look this time, there's no mistake. All the members of the Tono family have died under unusual circumstances. Suicide, accident, murder, disappearance. Not a single one of them has peacefully lived out their natural lifespan. The unbroken sequence recorded here can only be described as a curse. Stranger still is that the majority of the deaths were suicides. The heads of the Tono family reportedly took their own lives, some before they even became an adult, others not long after. My vision begins to grow dim. I feel as though all my blood is pooling in the back of my head. My limbs have become unsteady, and my breathing is gradually getting more and more labored. I try and escape the dizziness and unpleasant premonitions by turning my attention back to the diary. I turn over to the page. The date reads 2004. The year the child Makihisa adopted died of an unknown illness. I scan the text written in the diary. The handwriting fits my old man perfectly, concise but neurotic. I read the day's entry aloud, speaking as though delirious with fever.
トーノの一族は呪われている。近代に移ってから生まれてくる子供にはからの覚醒遺伝が。
This was written over 10 years ago. The ink is blurred to the point where I can barely read it.
もちろん、私も私の子供たちも例外ではない。アキハには特に強見られる。我が子の未来を思うと悲しい。紹介された医師の話によると、幼年期から厳しく教育すれば発言は今夜も手術が必要だという。
I heard a door! Wait.
Shiki, turn around.
私を恨むだろう。理由なく厳しく当たる私を憎むだろう。それもすべてトーノの。だが私は安堵している。どれほどアキハが後に近と言っても
What the hell is this? I hear footsteps. Oh my god.
Shiki, turn around!
The Tono family is cursed? Atavism. Performing surgery on Akia? And that final line. What was he referring to? Her brother. Her brother. Her brother. That has to be me. I don't know who else.
こんにちは、四季君。
Uh-oh. My stomach hurts. The wound on my chest has gone numb many times before, but this sort of experience is a first. A sharp stabbing pain as though a scorching iron rod were searing my internal organs. I start to lose feeling, first in my toes, but the rest of my body soon follows. I begin to collapse, clutching at the desk for support, but my outstretched hands can't hold on forever, and I crumple to the floor, landing on my back.
その日記はまずい。何しろ、まだ検閲が済んでいない。
Uh-oh.
君に見られる予定もない。
Well,
Did we get our first bad ending? Oh no. My consciousness fades. That man is definitely...
君にはもう少し、あの未熟な当主殿をかき回して欲しかったのだがね。どうやってかは知らないが、鍵を手に入れたのが、君の不運ということだ。
I realize that my breathing has already stopped. Oh. The lines of death, my headache, they felt so concrete, but they're gone now. I see. Only now that things have come to this do I realize. That annoying headache would actually have saved me. I mean, without it, I'll never be able to wake up. The body of Donoshiki, which had been doomed from the start, falls deeper and deeper into a sleep from which it will never awake.
fuck. And shit. Yeah, well, that's our first bad end. Teach me, Ciel Sensei.
Yes. Oh.
なぜ鳥は歌うのか、なぜエビは跳ねるのか、
I don't know.
なぜ主人公は鍵のかかった部屋に入るのか。
This is true. I should not have gone into a locked room.
Oh!
Grinja.
Oh my
人類史にお
goodness.
ける数々のミステリーに真っ向から挑む知能番組、教えてシエル先生。あっちまるよ。
Hey.
こんにちは。デッドエンドのなかった6、8日間、十分にお休みできましたか？
Yes, there was absolutely nothing.
物語はいよいよ佳境。ここからまた死亡ケースが多発しますので、
Oh, okay.
賢明な遠野くんにおかれましては、気を引き締めて選択肢を選んでいただければ。では、今回のデッドエンドですが、後ろからぐっさりですね。
I was.
メガネともあろう男が油断しすぎだよにゃ。それともあの包帯男、見かけよりやるってこと？
あの部屋の異様さに飲まれていたのもありますが、遠野くんの不注意ですね。そもそもこの手の潜入捜査は2人1組が理想です。
This is true.
1人が扉のそばで誰か来ないかを見張り、もう1人が書類を吟味する。そういった頼れる誰かと縁ができるまで、この書斎の調査は控えた方がよろしいかと。
まさに SPY でもそんなスキル持った知り合いいる？
I don't know.
シエルは武闘派だからそういうの向いてに良さそうだし。
単独であればできないことはありませんが、遠野くんのフォローをしながら潜入というのは確かに私向きではありませんね。いつかそういった見方ができればいいのですが。
Maybe Arcueid or Hisui? It's possible.
We'll see in the future.
露骨にフラグを立てやがって。誰かな、メイドかな、そっちかな。
さあ、そこまでは何とも。少なくとも私たちの吸血鬼事件には関わりのない話でしょう。
Okay.
さて、今回の死因ははっきりしていますので、前の選択肢に戻るだけで OK です。君子危うきに近寄らず、当の巻久氏の書斎は避けて安全な場所を選びましょう。
屋敷の中もデストラップだらけだが、この屋敷どうなってんの？
Thank you, Shiel Sensei. Wow.
Well, we know not to break into the study now.
Okay. Hey. No.
Okay. So we'll walk around the first floor.
Not pursue this any further.
No, I'd better leave well enough. I'd better leave well enough alone. Arcueid may have got me wondering about it, but there's no guarantee I'll find any answers inside Makihisa's study. Besides, it's way too risky. I wouldn't be able to explain myself if I bumped into Kohaku-san or Hisui in there. I'll just put this all out of my mind and go for a walk around the first floor instead. I squint at the rays of sunlight streaming through the skylight. No matter how many times I see it, the Tono Mansion lobby is always an overwhelming sight. As a child, I often got in trouble for exploring the mansion. Back then, the mansion was like a castle to me. I was convinced there was a hidden door somewhere. Somewhere that would lead to a world full of never-before-seen wonders. Somewhere between then and now, I lost that childlike naivety. Along with my unforgiving father. All of that is in the past now.
懐かしいな。昔は屋敷の廊下を歩くだけでドキドキしたっけ。
I begin to recall bits and pieces of how I used to sneak around this lobby 7 years ago. As if beckoned by those memories, I begin leisurely walking around the mansion. I head out onto the terrace. Strangely enough, I seem to remember the outside of the mansion better than I do the inside. The Tono residence is vast. The mansion itself is already 10 times larger than the average house, but the grounds it stands on are the size of your average amusement park. 7 years ago I would have been 10 at the time. It must have seemed like a world brimming with adventures to be had. Each day I used to methodically walk around, carving my name into trees on the ground. Oh, into trees or on the ground. It was part of a game I used to play with Akiha back then, in which we would each try and steal territory from the other. And we'd agree that anywhere you carved your name became your territory, so the two of us would run all over the mansion, carving our names wherever we could. And come to think of it, most of the time I spent playing with Akiha was spent in this garden. Unlike me, Akiha would actually abide by Makihisa's rules, which only allowed her to play for around half an hour each day. Though, despite that, she would still trail behind us when we went off to have fun, quietly listening in on what we said from a distance. And when it came time for her to join in, she did so with gusto, running around and competing with us for victory in whatever it was we were up to.
Wait, what? What we were up to?
Eh? She was listening in on what we said from a distance. Who was he with?
Eh?
Wait, what?
なんだ
Who are you with, Shiki?
あいつ昔から今の性格の下地はあったんじゃないか
She must have hidden her true self under 5, maybe even 6 layers of disguises in front of our father. Well, even with all that said, Ageha has changed a lot since then. I failed to predict just how much could happen over the course of 7 whole years. Time passed and she grew up to be a fine adult. Ageha and I are no longer the children we once were.
Oh, あったあった
The exterior of the gazebo built in the courtyard. Low down on the columns, in the nooks and crannies where the sun's rays can't quite reach, you can still see where letters have been scraped into the stone. I circled around the gazebo, tallying up the crumbling words. Shiki, Ageha, Shiki, Shiki, Shiki. It seems there were 5 matches that took place here. Just like the other spots, it seems like the win-loss ratio here favored me. I'll chalk that up to the fact that as a girl, Ageha didn't have quite the same freedom to roam that was granted to the boys.
まったく手加減ぐらいしてやればよかったのに
Even if I reflect on my behavior as a child, the number of markings will not change. I wonder how many times Ageha, who hated to lose, shed tears of frustration as a result.
そうか案外この恨みを今になって晴らしてるのかもな、あいつ
It seems pretty unlikely, given that we're talking about Ageha here, but on the off chance that it's true, it would be extremely adorable.
ああなんか俺もとことんバカ兄貴だ
With a wry smile, I raise my head. It's been fun reliving these memories, but it's about time I return to the... However, high up in the rafters of the gazebo ceiling, I spot another set of letters.
あんなところに
How did someone carve it all the way up there? There's no way a child could reach all the way up there. I'm not even sure an adult could.
なんだろう俺の名前だけど
I step into the gazebo, then climb up on the handrail to get a closer look at the ceiling. It's carved in such a place that an adult would never notice it, unless they were crawling around on the ground and then stood up. Hidden in the shadowy recesses of the ceiling in small lettering. Watch out for your brother. Eh? 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 What's that supposed to mean? Watch out for your brother? It's not Ageha's handwriting, but then that would mean that I was the one who wrote this. I thought I heard a noise, so I turn around. Eh? As I do, I catch a quick glimpse of a brown and white maid's uniform through a gap in the trees.
あれ翡翠
She doesn't seem to have noticed me. I see Hisui enter the forest, but have no idea what she could be up to.
なんで森に
From this point on, there's nothing but trees. I can't help but wonder what she's here to do, considering there's nothing back there. My curiosity piqued, I began to follow her from a slight distance. Ooh. Eh? While there are no paved roads through the forest, trails have been constructed to allow people to navigate it on foot. It said that the Tono residence was originally located within this forest. The ground the current mansion and garden sits on used to be nothing more than a trailhead, apparently. Apparently, it was only thanks to the efforts of the post-war family head that it became the way it is now. I keep walking through the forest. It isn't particularly deep, but I still can't see any end to it. Somewhere along the way, I catch a sight of a strange-looking building.
あんな建物
Oh,
あったっけ
what is that?
I wondered if that's where Hisui might be headed, but she's currently going in the complete opposite direction. A building deep in the heart of the forest. Maybe it's a temple of some sort. It does look a bit like a temple. And so, after around 10 minutes of walking, I feel the vision suddenly opens up.
広場だ
Smack dab in the middle of the forest, the trees inexplicably give way to a wide open field. Just, what is this place? I can't say I remember there being anything like this here. This spot is so perfectly concealed by the trees, you'd never guess it was here from the outside. If I hadn't followed Hisui here, it's possible I would never have known this secluded field existed.
こんなところあったかな、あったなら学校の遊び場だけど
I don't remember ever coming here to play with Akiha, at any rate. At least, I don't think I do. After some consideration, I decide to step out into the open. There isn't anything particularly special about this field. Hisui seems to have continued on as well. There's no sign of her now.
なんだただの空き地じゃないか
The sun's rays are beating down much harder out here in the middle of the field. Even if I don't look directly up into the sky, the sunlight is strong enough that my vision is all washed out. I can probably chalk it up to the fact that I just left the cool shade of the forest. It's like I've been transported to a hot summer day. I suddenly notice that the blue sky above is filled with huge, towering
Fuck, how do we say this again? Cumulonimbus.
cumulonimbus clouds. The landscape is blanketed in a shimmering haze. The overwhelming cries of the cicadas. The sound of cicadas. Is this where the incident happened? Wow. My consciousness is being burned to a crisp. With a thud, I fall to my knees on the scorching sand. I remember. I'd forgotten all about it, but I remember now. The blistering summer sun, the constant cries of the cicadas, the smell of tears. At my feet, the lumpen mass of what used to be a living being, stained a deep red. The wound on my chest hurts. It's as if I'm being stabbed. This pain, it feels like a kitchen knife being plunged into my chest. I killed him. I killed him. Killed him. Stop it. Stop it. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. I hear a cicada's voice in the distance. Even though it's already the middle of autumn. The shimmering summer sun dazzles my upturned eyes. The lukewarm atmosphere makes me feel sick. All I can see are the cast-off shells of the cicadas. The thing at my feet is the empty shell of a cicada. An empty shell. Someone's empty shell. My wound opens. Bright red stain seeps across my chest, dyeing even my hands in a deep, glistening crimson. The silhouette of a collapsed figure. The sound of a young girl's footsteps approaching. The clouds high up in the sky. That blue, fleeting summer sky. Without warning, Akiha's bloody, tear-streaked face flashes before my eyes. The cries of the cicadas feel like needles trying to pierce a hole in my eardrums. What's happening? My chest hurts. I feel nauseous. My wound closed up long ago, so why does it hurt so much? My chest is being destroyed. The scar opens up, and a red stain oozes out. How could this be? My wound hasn't healed at all. It hurts. I'm scared. This must be what it's like to die. My consciousness fades. My wound opens up. Pus spills forth. Consumed by the illusory summer, my mind begins to regress, as if my soul is slipping away. I hear a thud as my body collapses, sprawled out upon that grassy field.
What?
I hear the sounds of people talking.
秋葉様、お医者様をお呼びしないのですか？
バカなことは言わないで翡翠。呼べるわけがないでしょ。兄さんの傷は普通の傷じゃないんだから。
Akiha and Isuya are talking to each other. This is my room. It seems I was sleeping in my bed. I finally regained consciousness. I try to get up or call out to them, but my body won't move like I want it to. My chest doesn't hurt, but my body feels heavy as lead. It seems like my eyes and mouth are the only things I can move properly.
一体どういうつもりなの翡翠。兄さんをあの場所に近づけてはいけないって、あなたも知っているでしょうに。
申し訳ありません。
謝って済む問題じゃないわ。あなたを兄さん付きの使用人にしたのは、こういう事態を避けるためでしょ。
Oh.
それを忘れて、あなたは何をやっていたっていうのよ。
Akiha is furious. Her emotions on full display. This sort of behavior would normally be unthinkable for her. On the receiving end of the scolding is Hisui, who continues to look down in shame. I don't fully understand what's going on here. Even so, I can at least tell that Hisui is being scolded because of me.
ほら、口にしてもらえないかしら、翡翠。あなたは今日一日、どこで何をしていたのかを。この人が朝に倒れたことも報告せず、天津さえあの森に行かせてしまった。これは明確な意図があってのことよね。そうでなければ、犬以下の頭だもの。答えなさい、翡翠。あなたも、私に逆らうつもりなの？
Hisui doesn't answer. The air between them grows heavier and heavier. Akiha bites her lip and takes a step towards Hisui. It's plain even to me that Akiha is about to hit Hisui. Hisui continues to stare at the floor, silently accepting what's coming to her.
ちょっと待て、秋葉。
兄さん、気がついたんですか？
Yes, I am.
I heard everything.
ああ。アキハがあんまりにうるさいんで。
Akiha awkwardly averts her gaze. Hisui doesn't even look this way. She just stands there with her head lowered.
さ、あんまり翡翠に当たるなよ。事情は知らないけど、俺が倒れたことで揉めてるんだろ。なら、翡翠に責任はない。こんなの、俺が勝手に倒れただけなんだから。
I put strength into my arms and somehow managed to heave myself at least partially upright in bed. That simple act took everything I had in me. I don't think I could move another muscle at this point. But with Hisui looking despondent right in front of me, I need to put on a show of being healthy even if it kills me.
まったく、お前も俺のことなんかで喧嘩するな。大人びたように見えて、まだ子供なんだな。
でも兄さんはあれからずっと気を失っていたんですよ。10時間以上も昏睡しているなんて今までなかったはずです。もし兄さんがあのまま目が覚めなかったら私はどうすればいいんですか？
バカ、縁起でもないこと言わないでくれ。こんなのはただの貧血って。なんだ、もう10時を回ってるのか？
はい。ですから兄さんはお昼から今までずっと気を失っていたんです。
We have to go see Arcueid. Uh-oh. Akiha speaks in a reserved tone. However, I'm not worried about my body so much as I am the promise I made with Arcueid. Tomorrow night you'd better be here at 10 o'clock sharp. The look in Arcueid's eyes when she said that was more serious than usual. If I break that promise, who knows what sort of unreasonable demand she'll make of me in return.
やばい、行かなくっちゃ。アキハ、ごめん、俺は出かけるから後のことはよろしく頼む。あんまり翡翠をいじめるなよ。
I don't think you should do that, bro.
そちらこそバカなことは言わないでください。私、兄さんが毎夜どこに行くかなんてもう聞きませんから。どうか今夜ぐらいはご自分の体を大事にしてあげてください。
アキハ。
Akiha's tone has become pleading. If she keeps worrying about me this earnestly, I won't be able to maintain my resolve.
でもこんなのはしょっちゅうなんだぞ。中学の頃なんて日に2回は倒れてたんだしさ。
だから余計に心配なんです。兄さん、お願いだから今日ぐらいは私の言うことを聞いてください。
Oh god, it's gonna make me choose. Akiha looks at me with a serious gaze. Oh god. Uh-oh. This seems like a very important branching point if I don't meet up with Arcueid. Well. Shit. That's just... Let's see what happens if we stay. I guess I don't have much of a choice. I feel like I'll make Akiha cry if I disobey her any more than I already have.
わかった。今日はおとなしく眠ることにするよ。
Sleepy time.
So saying, I lie back down on the bed.
本当？
Yeah.
後になって部屋を抜け出したりするのもなしですよ。
Yeah, it'll be fine.
しないよ。実を言うと、体がまだ重いんだ。アキハの目を盗んで外に出るなんて、とてもできそうにない。
よかった。
Akiha slumps her shoulders as she breathes a sigh of relief.
翡翠、琥珀に兄さんが目を覚ましたことを伝えに行って。 兄さん、夕食はどうしますか？
I'll have a steak, please.
そっか。いや、
Oh,
琥珀さんには悪いけど、
well, okay,
食
never
べられ
mind.
そうにない。今夜はこのまま眠らせてくれ。
わかりました。翡翠、琥珀にそう伝えてきて。
Well then, now that I'm lying down again, I'm starting to feel a little drowsy. At this rate, I'll be asleep in under a minute. But before
ア
that,
キハ、うちの庭にあんな場所あったっけ？
hmm?
ええ。私たちが子供の頃、よく遊んだ場所です。
Oh,
そっか。なんだか、よく覚えてないな。
damn. I really did forget all about it.
それともう一つ、変なことを聞くんだけど、その、子供の頃さ、俺とアキハと、もう一人ぐらい子供がいたとかいう話は、知らないか？
は？
Akiha tilts her head to the side in confusion. I guess that's to be expected. There's no way there was another kid around back then. But if there wasn't, then something doesn't add up. The scene I saw in my dreams. The dream I saw in that field. If the two of them are connected, then for everything to make sense, there would have to have been another child in this house. A child who was murdered.
いや、なんでもない。ただの夢の話だ。
Hmm?
そうですか。ではおやすみなさい、兄さん。
Oh.
今夜はゆっくり休んでください。
ああ、そうする。
I'm out like a light the instant after I respond to Akiha. The emotions that usually coil themselves around my heart as I fall asleep are nowhere to be found tonight. It's as though the plug was pulled in my consciousness. Tonoshiki sinks into the dark abyss as though fleeing the events of the day. Okay. Jailbrokish, okay. One second. I want to see something. So this chapter is called Scarlet Moon of Crimson. Okay. Okay. What would happen if I... Scarlet Moon of Crimson 1. Give me a sec. I need to see something. Load?
What happens if I go?
Is it a different chapter?
Okay, I'll go and meet with Arcueid.
I appreciate that Ake is concerned for my health, but I can't break my promise with Arcueid.
わかった。今日はおとなしく眠ることにする。
Wait, what? That ain't right. Wait, what?
本当ですか？
Yeah, yep, totally mean it.
あのな、こんな体で。
言われてみればそうですね。
Akiha slumps her shoulders as she breathes a sigh of relief. But I'm gonna sneak out
翡
though.
翠、琥珀に兄さんが目を覚ましたことを伝えに行って。兄さん、夕食はどうします？
いや、
Yep, we
食事
saw
は
this.
ああ、でも飲み物くらいなら通るから、野菜ジュースとかあったら助かる。
わかりました。翡翠、そう琥珀に伝えてきて。か
Okay.
しこまりました。野菜ジュース、人参、トマト、白菜、
し
キャベツ、赤ピーマン、梅
Is this in the other
な
one?
どの
I
ミッ
don't
ク
have
ス
a
を
juice.
支給。
あ
I've never heard of a recipe like that before. Is it some sort of Kohaku-san special?
では私も退出します。何かありましたら
遠慮なく呼んでください。
Okay.
何時だろうとすぐに駆けつけますから。
Time to sneak out. Akiha switches off the lights and leaves the room.
すまない、アキハ。
Oh.
I mutter to myself before sitting up. Even though the lights are off, my surroundings flicker between light and dark. Simply sitting up is enough to make me lightheaded. This anemia attack isn't like the ones I've had before. I understand that, but even so, I have to go to the park. This is her we're talking about. After all, if I leave that idiot hanging, she'll definitely keep on waiting for as many hours as it takes. I unsteadily make my way over to the desk. I take my knife from the drawer and put on my jacket.
Uh-oh.
This don't look good. This is a bad end?
参ったな。
Okay,
これ
we'll,
じゃ本
we'll
当
play this out and see,
ア
see
キ
how it
ハた
goes.
ちの目は盗めない。
I need to wait until I've recovered enough to at least properly walk. Otherwise, Hisui will catch me and send me back to my room.
なんだ、結局。
Arcueid will probably be mad at me if I arrive even later than I did yesterday. Still, I guess that isn't the end of the world. I sit down on the bed. 1 hour. If I rest for just 1 more hour, I have to recover to the point where I can walk around again. Okay. Oh, we actually do make it to the park. Okay.
Huh. There he is. Hello, Alula. Welcome.
We have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by.
Baba Boogie-kun. Oh my goodness.
We're going to see if this is a bad end. I went back a little from an earlier choice. See how this plays out. I arrive at the park just before midnight. I may have regained the ability to walk, but can only manage a snail's pace. It took me almost an hour to get here as a result. Is she even here? I cast my eyes around my surroundings, shoulders heaving from my labored breathing. Why did you say ill vampires to her? What do you mean ill vampires?
Wait, what? Ew, vampires. And then she slashed me in the chest. No.
The twilit park, a solitary white figure stands motionless by the pavilion, where we'd arranged to meet.
やっぱり待ってた。
Okay. It seems like she's noticed that I finally arrived. Arcueid starts stomping over to me, her footsteps echoing loudly.
今夜も壮大な意地悪。恐れ入るわ。来てくれたからいいけど、2時間もオーバーした理由をたっぷり。
I mean, the other one, I didn't even come see you at all, so be grateful.
Let's see what happens. Okay. Arcueid is rendered speechless the second she sees my face.
ちょっと、どうしたのシキ？
Well, I'm kinda dying.
顔は真っ青だし、正気も全然感じられないし。もしかして、
No, I
先に
wasn't.
死者探しをしてきちゃった？
どんな冒険野郎だよ、俺は。
Why is it bad end?
ちょっと
I
貧
don't
血気味
know.
なんだ。
So there was 2 choices that seemed very different. The other one was just me sleeping in and missing Arcueid and went to the next day. This one, we go out, but we're very ill, so we'll see what happens.
時々こういう風になるから、そう驚かなくていい。それより、ごめんな。2時間も待たせちまって。できるだけ早く来たつもりなんだけど。
うん。私は別に気にしてないけど。さっきまでずっと、なんで遅れてるんだろうって考えていたけど。
Can't believe you want to throw up on you. No, I don't. No.
But yeah, I want to see what the next day is called in this route to see if it's a different
thing to the other one. If you know, we'll see.
本当わかんない。そんな体で出てくるなんて変だよ、シキ。
だって約束だろ。アルクエイドの手伝いをするって言ったんだから、これぐらいじゃサボれない。それにほら、昨日のこともあるし、お前を一人にしていたら、それこそどんな事件が追加されるか。
それは嬉しいけど、後半のは余計だけど、やっぱりおかしい。こんなのいくらなんでもひどすぎる。
ひどいって何が？
そういう全然自分の体を分かってないところ。人間の命は不安定なものだけど、四季はその揺れ幅が大きすぎる。
Oh, I don't know if your choice really mattered.
当の四季は
Yes.
普段からとても死に近いところに立っている。それが直視の魔眼の反動か、今日までの運命の対象かは分からないけど、波のように生と死の境界を行き来している。だからあなたの貧血とやらは前も大丈夫だったから今回も大丈夫なんていうものじゃない。いい意識。あなたは外的要因の死には抵抗がある。きっと一度そういった要因の臨死を体験したからでしょうね。けどその反面、内的要因の死には抵抗力がまるでない。頻繁に貧血で倒れるのは体が行っている防護策なのよ、きっと。人間は内側の異常には気づけないけど、あなたの体はそれを本能的に感知している。これ以上は取り返しがつかなくなるという時、強制的にあなたを休ませようと。今の貧血だって本来なら死んでいてもおかしくない男性のはず。覚醒できたのはたまたま運が良かったからと思いなさい。
I wouldn't go so far as to call this a revelation, but I still nod my head in understanding. Up until now, I'd thought of it like a computer being forcibly shut down, but I guess you could take a different perspective on it. For instance, the hypothesis that rather than being the result of a weak constitution, this anemia is actually a safety mechanism my body employs in order to protect my life.
なんか大げさな物言いだけど。
Still, if something like that is true.
つまり、貧血になってる時は、指先一つでコロッと行きやすいってこと？
Maybe. If that's the case, then every morning for the past 7 years has been a cruel memento mori.
もう、私は本気で忠告してるの。でも来てくれてありがとう。今夜はもう帰って、ゆっくり体を休めなさい。
Okay. Arcueid suddenly approaches me. Maybe she really is genuinely concerned about my health. Whatever the reason, she unguardedly brings her body close to mine. Before I have a chance to pull myself away, I feel her chest brush against mine. Boba. Badump. My brain is once again assailed by dizziness, but this time my anemia has nothing to do with it. I've been doing my best to not be too aware of her feminine allure. What the fuck is going on? The softness of her breasts, her pure white skin, her beautiful golden hair. Wow, Shiki, you talking about me? Thank you. I am quite a babe. Wow.
ごめん、アルクエイド。ちょっと離れてくれ。
何よ、私の言葉は信用できないっていうの？吸血鬼だから？
No.
何今さらそんなこと言ってるんだ。アルクエイドのことを信じないわけがないだろう。
嘘。じゃあなんで視線をそらしているの
？Badoomp is the sound. No.
だから、あくまで俺の個人的な理由でちょっと離れてほしい。そう近くに来られると、俺も男だから。
Wow.
Phew. I've escaped from the combined torture of being dizzy from anemia and dizzy from being too close to Arcueid. At least for the time being.
とにかく、アルクエイドに心配してもらうほどじゃない。だいたい、昨日の夜みたいに襲われたら、今度こそ殺されるかもしれないんだから、こっちも休んではいられないんだよ。
待って、どういうこと？
Oh.
だから屋敷に帰るときに、って、そうか。まずこれを報告しないと。アルクエイド。俺昨日の夜に死者に襲われた。俺が一人で屋敷に戻るところ、待ち構えていたんだと思う。
Arcueid's facial expression turns grim.
信じられない。どうしてそんな大事なことを忘れていられるのよ、あなたは。
面目ない。でもほら、死ななきゃ安いというか。
バカ！そんなだから心配してるの、私は。
Whoa. I feel like you can't really blame me here. I mean, just today I had something even stranger happen to me.
まあいいわ。それより詳しい話を聞かせて。
Arcueid begins interrogating me, a stern look on her face. I calm myself down and try and explain everything as clearly as I can. However, I don't mention to her that the man in black was able to see the lines of death. I don't have any proof that they definitely could, so it's possible that I was just imagining it.
というわけなんだけど。
After I finally finish explaining everything that happened, I steal a glance at Arcueid's face to try and get a read on her mood. Her gaze has remained unyieldingly sharp from the minute I started talking up until now.
どうなんだ、アルクエイド。真っ黒い死者とシスター服の女は、お前の敵なのか？
そうね。両方とも私の敵よ。その死者は何者だか知らないけど、修道服を着た女のことなら見当はつく。シキを助けたやつは私と顔見知りかもしれない。確かにあの女なら私より先に敵を見つけ出せるわ。
Arcueid bites her lip in frustration. Her irritation is borderline murderous.
アルクエイド、俺を助けてくれたシスターはお前が前に言っていた。
ええ、教会の異端狩りよ。シキを助けたやつはそこで一番厄介な部署の代行者。けどおかしいな。埋葬機関がこんなに早く代行者を送ってくるはずはないんだけど。そんなことより、シキはどうして戦ったりしたの？
I was being attacked. What do you mean?
私に協力してくれるって言ったけど、一人で戦うとは言わなかったわ。
Arcueid casts a scowl in my direction. She's worried about me after I put myself in danger, all on my own.
ああ、もう、すっごく損した気分。私に内緒でそんな楽しそうなことするなんて。活躍のチャンス逃しちゃったじゃない。
Perhaps I spoke too soon.
聞いていいか？さっきまでの深刻な空気はどこに？
本気で怒ってるの？せっかくシキと一緒に戦えると思ったのに。
It's certainly a dangerous desire, but it's equally true that I don't hate hearing her say it.
あのな、一人でやり合うことになったのは成り行きだよ、成り行き。俺はお前抜きで吸血鬼と戦う気はないんだから。
ふん。成り行きってどんな？
世間一般で言うところの正義感なのかもしれない。今は少し後悔してる。
正義感？
Arcueid tilts her head in bewilderment. I feel exactly the same way inside. I was painfully reminded yesterday that such things are nothing more than a pretext.
This dude. At that time, when I noticed that there was a figure in front of me, I was filled with fear. As I realized that my opponent was something extraordinary, I could do nothing but tremble. After that, I took out my knife, as if in answer, and we began our fight to the death. A sense of justice alone isn't enough to allow one person to kill another person. Not even the instinct to save one's own life is enough. It's because the death of oneself and the death of another are fundamentally unrelated concepts. It takes a powerful motive to allow someone to act under such extreme circumstances. If I kill, then I'll be saved. If I don't, then I'll perish. A conclusion to end all conclusions. Purified. Conviction and motive. In that moment I consisted of nothing else. A flashback again to that place.
いや、
Oh.
なんでもない。ほら、一段落ついたところで始めようぜ。せっかく来たんだから、街を徘徊してる死者の一人でも見つけ出さないともったいない。
あのね、本気で怒るわよ、シキ。それとこれは話が別。ちゃんと休んでって言ったでしょ。死者の食堂もあらかた片付けたところだし、今夜は様子を見て明日に備えましょう。
The look on Arcueid's face as she says this doesn't leave much room for argument. I can't really help but go along with her reasoning either. On top of that, it's not as though I'd be able to find a vampire on my own, even if I did go out looking for them.
わかった。アルクエイドがそこまで言うんなら、今夜はおとなしく休む。
素直でよろしい。シキは夕べ襲われただけじゃなくて、そんなに体が弱っているんだもの。今晩はぐっすり眠って、明日までにはいつもの式に戻ってもらわないと、私が困るわ。
ああ、そうか。協力者が足手まといになってたら話にならない。オッケー。明日までには体力を回復させておく。
そういう意味じゃないんだけどな。
Arcueid grumbles, seemingly discontent about something. As usual, I have no idea what's going on inside that head of hers.
じゃあ、屋敷に戻るよ。また明日な、アルクエイド。
I give her a wave and set off home.
ねえ、シキ。
But then Arcueid calls me to a halt.
なんだよ。まだ何かあるのか。
どうしてもって言うならなんだけど、私、送っていこうか。
I like this more. There's more closure compared to the last choice we had. At least we tell Arcueid about all this stuff and move on. Rather than just leave her alone. I will stick with this one. Arcueid makes a shy proposal, averting her gaze as she does so. It seems like she's worried about what happened yesterday in her own way. Having her accompany me back wouldn't be a bad idea in that regard. But...
いや、やめとく。屋敷の周りでお前といるところを誰かに見られたら、
oh no.
それこそ明日の朝が怖い。大丈夫。もう一人で歩けるし。こんなの、お前が心配する筋合いでもないしな。
Oh? It's brief, but Arcueid lowers her head. Only for a moment before looking back up.
それじゃ、また明日ね。
Oh? After waving goodbye, the vampire in white walks away into the darkness of the night. Okay, now let's see if this has a different name. So the other one was called Scarlet Moon of Crimson, this is called... Okay. Okay, this choice does matter. Okay. Blacked Out Moon. Huh. Okay.
Dysfunctional. Stress-induced failure. A broken vessel that cannot be repaired. Broken tableware serves no purpose. It's simply unseemly. So let's bury it deep in the shelves. In my dream, I watched the moon. I don't quite remember where I was watching from or why. Maybe it was because, not wanting to see anything, I'd raised my gaze to the heavens, and there was the moon. My spine creaks. The midwinter chill has seeped into my veins. I feel dizzy, all alone in the dark like this. The moon so dazzling it snatches my breath away. How curious. By all rights, this cold should feel stifling, yet instead, it feels tinged with nostalgia.
四季様。
I'm greeted by the morning sunshine, along with the sound of Hisui calling out to me.
四季様。お目覚めの時間です。
Why is everything so bright? I'm fully awake after hearing Hisui's monotone voice. The instant I fully open my eyes, those abhorrent things crowd my vision. I'm suddenly assailed by a stabbing headache. It's as though someone shot me in the temple. My consciousness, only just having woken up, loses its footing. I quickly reach for my glasses on the nightstand before the dizziness takes root. Oh, all better.
ご気分が優れないのですか？
No, we're fine.
いや、昨日の疲れがまだ残ってるだけ。すぐに良くなるから、心配は無用だよ。
Shaking my head lightly, I try to shed the memories of what I'd just seen. I'm paying the price for pushing myself to keep my promise with Arcueid last night. My senses still feel dull.
おはよう、翡翠。今朝も起こしに来てくれてありがとう。
I heave myself upright in bed, doing my best to put on a natural-looking smile.
いえ。これが私の仕事ですから。
How did we get back in bed? We didn't even see him go back.
そうかな。俺はすごくありがたいけど、目覚まし時計の音なんかより何倍もあったかい感じがする。
Thanks to that warmth, I greet another day. I stand up from the bed. It's just before 7 in the morning, about 10 minutes earlier than usual.
朝食だろ。すぐに行くから先に行ってていいよ。
はい。それでは食堂でお待ちしております。
Hisui makes her customary bow and quietly takes her leave. Or not? You like a drunk man who somehow made it back in bed in one piece. Nothing stolen. Oh? What is it?
他に何か伝言とか？
いいえ。何でもありません。どうか今日一日、健やかにお過ごしください。
Hisui leaves the room. Oh then. I'm certainly not in the best shape possible, but I think I can still manage going to school. I'm sure I'll also get some of my strength back after eating whatever breakfast Kohaku-san has cooked up for me. In the living room, Akihei is sitting on the sofa, and Hisui is standing at attention by the wall.
おはようございます、兄さん。
Good morning.
昨夜はゆっくり休まれましたか？
ああ、おはよう、アキハ。
As soon as I enter the living room, I can't help but notice that Akiha seems cheerier than usual. Well, her greeting is certainly lively, at least. A cheery mood is good for one's mental health, so I'm glad in that regard. But...
どうしたんだよ。 制服に着替えなくていいのか？
Pose.
本日は自主休校とさせていただきました。屋敷の方でやることができましたので。兄さんはいつも通り学校ですか？どうぞ気ままな学生気分を堪能してきてください。
Thank you, thank you. Why are you acting like this? This seems sus. Huh? Is this a dream? I don't know. You seem kind of sussy. What's going on? Yeah, see, even he's a bit confused. What the hell? Eh? I get that she's in a good mood, but even so, this feels strangely tense. What is she up to?
それにしても今朝は顔色がいいんですね。
Wow, I do. Thank you. Thank you.
やっぱり昨夜ゆっくり休んでくれたからですか？
Yep, yeah. I slept the whole time.
まあな、今朝は起きるのも早かったし。
それならもう心配する必要はないですね。兄さんが言うことを聞いてくれる人でよかった。
Her trust in me hurts. Last night, I ended up going out to protect my promise with Arcueid. Even if I did manage to avoid pushing myself too hard and make it all the way back to my room again afterwards, it doesn't change the fact that I'm still lying to Akiha. I feel like if I stay here any longer, I'll slip up. I should get out of here quickly.
食堂で朝食をもらってくる。食べたら学校に行くから、俺のことは気にしなくていいぞ。
わかりました。でもまだ何かあるようでしたら遠慮なく立ち寄ってください。
Okay.
あと少しだけここで待っていますから。
My limbs still feel heavy, but I'll probably feel better after breakfast. Hiding my physical discomfort from Akiha, I head to the dining room. Ooh, what do you know? Oh, she knows. I finish my breakfast and leave the mansion. It was naive of me to think that having breakfast would make me feel better. I've never been able to stomach much of a meal this early in the morning. My appetite just wasn't there today either. Because of that, I spent a full 30 minutes picking at my breakfast. An eternity for a student. Oh no.
今朝は適切なお食事を用意せず、申し訳ありませんでした。
Oh, it's okay, Kohaku.
明日こそは必ず四季さんの目に星が散るような朝食をご用意しますから。
You got this. Kohaku-san raises both of her arms, and fires herself up. In an unusual turn of events, Kohaku-san is the one seeing me off this morning rather than Hisui. It must be because there is no need to see Akiha off today.
いえ、こっちこそ食が細くてごめんなさい。いつもご迷惑をおかけします。
Kohaku-san stares at me in silence. I wonder why. Her unwavering gaze reminds me of a machine, I guess.
琥珀さん？
え？
俺の顔何かついてます？
What's going on?
いえ、そういうわけではないのですが、四季さんのお顔の色が優れないので。
え？ I feel a sense of dread. Akiha may not have noticed anything, but am I really looking that green around the gills?
やっぱりお止めするべきですよね。秋葉様もいらっしゃいますし、四季さんも今日は学校をお休みになられては？
She prepares a secret ingredient for tomorrow, but no!
ああ、いや、大丈夫。少し体が重いだけ。昨日のことで心配するのはわかるけど、行けるときは学校に行っておきたいし。
もう、そんな優しい顔で言われては、お咎めもできません。わかりました。秋葉様には内緒にしておきます。
This doesn't feel right. Something's a little off.
で
Okay.
も、本当に無理は禁物ですよ。
I don't know.
ですね。今日は早めに帰ってきて休みますから。それで。
はい。お帰り、お待ちしています。
Okay. With Kohaku-san sending me off with a smile, I leave the Tono residence. There's a kernel of truth to what I said. I will be making my way straight home today. I must if I'm to regain my strength and put Akiha and the others at ease before I go out and meet with Arcueid. Okay. Hopefully everything's fine. I head towards the school. I make my way down the hill. My limbs feel heavy, as though I'm piloting someone else's body. I thought I'd be able to shake off this sluggishness pretty quickly, but it seems it won't be so easy. I reach the classroom. I believe it's the middle of the second period. After the teacher blank me for my tardiness, I take my seat blank. I plump my body on the chair and finally blank. It's lunch break. It seems Arihiko is taking the day off. That makes 2 absentees today. Inui Arihiko and Yumizuka Satsuki. Arihiko is one thing, but Yumizuka's continued absence has me a little worried. I hope it's nothing serious, like a cold or something, but... What am I supposed to do during my lunch break again? Lunch. Right, I won't be able to recover if I don't have lunch. What the hell, Shiki? Come on! What do I do during lunch? Oh, right, eat lunch. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wait a second, need to hydrate a bit. You love being something. It's very rewarding. What do you mean? However, my appetite is completely non-existent. It's not that I feel sick. It's more like I simply lost the ability to feel hungry. That's why there's no need to eat. I haven't the reason nor the strength to rise from this chair. I waste my energy. Shiki, what the fuck? Eat food! You can eat food! You need the energy. Take it! It's strange. I've accepted this delusion without a second thought. What the fuck is going on? Things are just flashing by. The class has begun. What class was this again? I don't remember what the subject is for 5th period today. Even when I look at the blackboard or listen to the teacher's voice, none of it makes a lick of sense to me. The letters swirl and scatter like paint being swept away by water. I feel nauseous. The entire classroom is tilting. I lose my balance. My body starts to collapse towards that slopping floor. I hold on for dear life, but the world offers me no footholds. My consciousness succumbs to the dizziness. Uh-oh. I can do nothing to catch myself as I fall out of my chair. An unpleasant sound echoes hard and heavy, like a bowling ball dropping to the floor. The female students shriek. I hear the footsteps of the teacher rushing over to me. Even though I'm out cold, I calmly continue to watch the scene unfold from somewhere far away. Wait, what? Are you a spirit, bro? What happened? After that, it was business as usual. After I passed out from my anemia, I was carried to the school infirmary and put to bed in the hopes my condition would improve. When 7 o'clock rolled around and my fever was still hovering near 38 degrees, the school nurse contacted the Tono contacted the Tono household.
They quickly come to pick me up. Seeing the black luxury car stop in the school parking lot was like watching a movie play out in front of me. The car isn't here to take Tonoshiki to the hospital, but back to the Tono residence. It's a reasonable thing to do. It's only a fever after all. My body might be incredibly heavy, but my mind remains perfectly clear.
School kills! No! Can't believe it, Alula. Can't believe it.
The black luxury car stands apart from the hustle and bustle of the world as it spreads indifferently through the twilight city. There is no one else in the car but me and the driver. The driver hasn't said a single word. Tonoshiki is strapped to the back seat with a seatbelt. Both the air outside and the atmosphere inside feel oppressively heavy.
Whoa.
It feels like I'm riding in a what is that? Hearse? What was a hearse? It feels like I'm riding in a hearse? Hearse? I don't even know. In a hearse. I think about saying that joke out loud, but decide not to in the end.
As a joke? What?
I don't get it. The dark trees part to reveal an old mansion. I let out a sigh that could be taken either as an admiration or resignation. This mansion hasn't changed at all over the past 7 years. A sturdy castle always houses a prison. Something dreadful, something wicked, something that defies common sense. Something that must be hidden away no matter what. This is the vehicle you transport coffins in. Oh, I didn't know that.
お帰
Okay.
りなさいませ、シキ様。
Hello.
お話は聞いております。すぐにベッドまでお連れしますので、それまでもうしばらくご辛抱を。
A servant greets me in the lobby. I'd managed to make it through the front door, but my knees can't hold out any longer. I start to collapse towards the carpet.
危ない。
え？
失礼しました。どうぞこちらに。まだ熱があるのですね。
Why are you calling Hisui the servant? Shiki, what the fuck's wrong with you? And you're talking in the third person. What? Eh? The servant props up Tonoshiki's body before it can hit the floor. Not only that, but she offers him her shoulder. Oh, it's okay. I can still walk at least. More importantly, thank you. You don't like being touched, right?
Wait. Wait.
These are voice lines. Shiki hasn't been talking. What? What? Eh? What the hell's going on? I do my best to put on a bold front.
確かに苦手です。
Mm-hmm.
ですが、今はシキ様の手当てを優先させていただきます。秋葉様や姉には黙っていますので、どうかお体を私にお預けください。
Okay.
シキ様が病気がちなのは、シキ様のせいではありません。人間、誰だって頼りたいし、頼られたいものなのですから。
After saying that, the servant grasps my cold hand. I see. In that case, I leave it to you. I obediently surrender to her her sweet-sounding voice. I want to be relied on. I want to rely on others. I want to be protected. I want to protect others. I want to live. I want to let live. I see. Although they are the opposites of each other, that doesn't mean they are mutually exclusive. We all harbor each of these opposing desires within us, after all.
階段を上りますのでご注意のほどを。
The servant leading me by hand begins to climb the stairs. Simply walking is enough to make my vision flicker in and out. In my dazed state, all I can do is put one foot in front of the other, relying on the servant for the rest. Wants to be crushed by a woman's thighs. I mean, come on, Alula, who doesn't? Come on. Huh? This is the wrong place. We went the wrong direction. This corridor leads to the east wing. It is an area that Tonoshiki must not enter. Beyond this point. Hey, we went the wrong way. Tonoshiki calls out. There's no response from the servant. No, that's not all. I no longer feel the sweet touch of her hands, nor is there any sign of the maid outfit I'm so used to seeing. Huh? I gather what I can on my unsteady consciousness and examine my surroundings. There is no one in the corridor. I don't hear a single sound. I can't feel anything at all. I suddenly realize this space is an enormous drawer. A place to put away junk that no longer serves a purpose. A place with no way in or out. I crumble to the ground. It seems that someone can no longer stand to let Tonoshiki live. I wonder if the ground is like a soft cushion, or like a hard tatami mat made of woven grass. I've lost all sense of touch, so the truth will probably have to wait until the next time I wake up. An end without any explanation. A vague conclusion with unanswered questions. As sudden as it may be, an end like this is fitting for someone like Tonoshiki.
And I knew it! Stuff was pretty sus. Okay, we got another bad end. Time for more Neko Arc and Ciel. Yes.
Grinyo.
It's time.
Wow.
普通に10日目が始まったと思ったら、普通に学校に行って普通にエンドになったよ。これどうなってんのシエル。エラこの先行ってないのかにゃ。どう考えても悪い選択はしてないしな。妹との約束を破った？
Yep, we broke a promise with our sister.
でも金髪美少女との約束の方が大事っしょ。これ
Mm-hmm.
こそ正解ルートのはずにゃんだけど。
Did he die from overexhaustion?
何を言っているんですか。明葉さんがあれほど心配していたのに出かけてしまうなんて、お兄さん失格です。
Oh no! I failed as an older brother! How could I? That was my downfall!
今まで何度も倒れてきた遠野くんですが、この日の体調不良は特別なものです。半日は休んでいないと回復しない不調ですから、しっかり休んでくださいね。
Okay.
もちろんアルクエイドとの待ち合わせは全然無視して OK です。所詮口約束なので法的強制力もなければ違約金も発生しませんしね。
I see.
そういう問題じゃないんだけどね。心と心の問題なんだけどね。でもそういった心のすれ違いが次のロマンスを生み出すのよね。感じる。すぐ近くにデートイベントの気配を感じる。あ、シエルにはないんだっけデートイベント。ソーリー、恵まれすぎてソーリー。
いえ、そ その分こちらは夜だけでなく学校で長時間過ごさせていただいているのでお気になさらず。遠野くんとのトーク時間は当社比4対6で私の方が上ですので。
That is not true, Ciel. I have barely talked to you.
はあ、どうせ長ったらしい教会の設定語りでしょ。
え？
吸血鬼社会の説明よりはよっぽど短いですよ。基本的には頼れる先輩と迷える後輩の清らかな男女交際トークです。
学校なら私も行ったし。
Yes, you did.
不法侵入とかあなたらしいですけどね。
戦闘ドレス等々着替えもあるし。
あのブローブに即落ちした。出だしだけは良かったですね。
Oh no.
よしげーしゃ。
Bruh. Nice. How? How what? Hmm? Oh, we have the other route here. Day 10. The real one. Scarlet Moon of Crimson 1. Do I continue? 1 second. Okay. How you lock her out of the route? Lock who out of the route? What, Ciel? I don't know. I just never saw her. I wonder if someone left the window open. I can hear the small birds chirping outside. The cool breeze brushes against my cheek. The faint light of the sun dances across my eyelids. My surroundings are imbued with a serene sense of peace. As I bask in the morning's warm welcome, I pick up my glasses from the nightstand and put them on, my hands moving on autopilot. I see. Seems like I fell asleep right after talking with Akiha. My joints are still a bit heavy, but I feel a lot better than I did last night.
Yosh.
I let out a short rallying cry to psych myself up. Opening my eyes, I greet the brisk morning. Hello?
あ、やっと起きたの？
However, when I open my eyes, I see Arcueid's face right in front of me. My train of thought is totally derailed. My mind is so blank it's as though my brain is turned into tofu. My mouth forgets how to even breathe and seizes up. Seriously, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. All I know is that Arcueid is in front of me. That this is my room. And that the time is just past 9 in the morning. And that to top it all off, she hasn't even taken her boots off before getting on my bed. Oh, it's your kink? What do you mean?
また明日って約束したのに。
I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want beautiful Arcueid in my room where we're about to play some goddamn video games? Let's go! Bruh. Maybe it's because she's in a very bad mood, but Arcueid's red eyes have lost their natural beauty. No, that's not right. Now that I'm up close and personal, I can feel their beauty more vividly than ever before. Arcueid is glaring steadily at me. Her face is really close. So close that I can sense her breathing, her body heat, and even the smoothness of her skin. Her frame hangs over my fallen body. In mounted position, it's in martial arts terms.
ちょっと待ってくれ、アルクエイド。
What are you doing in my room?
お前、なん なんで朝から俺の部屋にいる？
I try to keep my voice as low as possible while I yell at her. If I raise my voice and Hisui enters the room, it will be all over for me. Even without a full handle on the situation, I can at the very least deduce that much.
とにかくどいてくれ。人の部屋に勝手に上がって眠ってる隙に馬乗りとか真剣無視にも程がある。インベーダーかお前は。
何よその態度。私がこんなところにやってきたのはシキが約束を破ったからでしょ。
Sorry.
人を待たせておいて自分はずっと眠っているなんて一体どういうつもりなの？
Aw. Arcueid casts a sullen scowl at me. A promise. That's right. I made a promise. I made a promise to meet up with her last night, but I broke it, didn't I? I finally grasp the situation. I understand the reason behind Arcueid's anger. But even so, that doesn't justify her behavior. I honestly can't believe that she leapt straight past. I'll give him a piece of my mind when I see him tonight. I'll break into his room. Seeing as how the window's open, that's probably the route she used to sneak her way in.
そうか。約束を破ったんだから、そりゃ確かに俺が悪い。けど、そんなことで人の家に侵入するのはやりすぎだぞ。
ここ、シキの家じゃないわ。
Yes, wait, what? Arcueid issues a flat rebuttal.
それにね、本当は私、もっと怒ってたんだから。
This is my house, what do you mean?
何時間も待ちぼうけで約束を保護にされたんだって気づいたとき、自分でも驚くぐらい頭に血が上ったわ。もう絶対にこのままじゃ済まさない。乗り込んでいって捕まえてシキの首根っこぐらい引きちぎってやる。波の言葉じゃ許さないからって。あんなの経験したことのない精神状態だった。自分でも冷静になろうって思うんだけど、思えば思うほど頭にきちゃってどんどん熱が上がっていくの。あなたへの文句だけで詰まった底なし沼にはまって暴れれば暴れるほど沼が広がっていくような気分、分かってもらえる？もう本当にどうにかなりそうでたまらなかったんだから。
I wonder if she still feels that way, because her red eyes are brimming with a mixture of discontent, protest, and rage, all directed squarely at me.
ああ、確かにたまらないな、それは。
Nodding along with her to feign attention, I stealthily check that my neck is indeed still intact.
でしょ？それでもう我慢できなくなって忍び込んだんだけど、シキが眠ってるから待ってあげることにしたのよ。言い訳ぐらいは聞いてみたかったから。でもシキ、なかなか起きないんだもん。やることもなかったし、しばらくあなたの寝顔を見てるしかなかった。シキの寝顔はね、怖いくらい静かだった。死人のように眠っていて、もう起き上がることはないんじゃないかって不安になったくらい。
はあ、不安だったら起こしてくれればよかったのに。こっちはお前にいられる方がよっぽど不安だよ。
けど起こすのももったいなくって。私、自分の眠っている姿は知らないけど、シキみたいに眠れるのなら幸せかもしれないなって。どうしてシキはこんなに穏やかなんだろうってずっと考えながら見つめてた。そうしていたらね、あれだけ湧き上がっていた気持ちも収まって、その後にシキが目を覚ましたの。
それじゃあ夜から今までずっとそこにいたのか？
何度か家の人がやってきたけど、見つからないようにしておいたから大丈夫よ。
Okay, good.
さっきもシキを起こしに女の子が来たけど、気に食わないから追い返しちゃった。
Arcueid lets out a carefree laugh.
待て、追い返したって
Yeah,
何
leaving
を？
town to away. What the fuck?
手荒な真似はしていないわ。ほら、前に吸血鬼には未了の魔眼があるって言ったでしょ。あの女の子にはシキはもう学校に行ったって暗示をかけたから、私のことも記憶に残ってないよ。
Okay.
記憶に残ってないよって、お前ね。
She really does just do whatever she feels like. Well, even so, it seems like she tried to respect my family situation in her own way.
経緯はよくわかった。それと、昨日のことはすまなかった、アルクエイド。その謝罪ってわけじゃないけど、俺は二度とお前との約束は破らない。約束する。
Why he's so calm? He buried all his trauma in his therapy. It's fine, it's fine. I make this declaration while staring Arcueid directly in the face.
反省してる？
反省してる。何しろ、後の報復が恐ろしいって今思い知ってる最中だ。
Still lying flat on the bed, I raise both arms in a gesture of surrender. I'm not sure where that displeased attitude of hers went, but Arcueid nods, seemingly satisfied with my answer. Oh? At long last, Arcueid gets off the bed.
にしても、ブーツでベッドに乗っかるなんて。シーツに足跡がついたら洗濯が大変だなとか。
I pull myself upright, complaining. Arcueid watches me from the center of the room as I slowly haul myself out of bed.
あのさ、お前、何してるの？
何って、シキが着替えるのを待ってるんだけど、その格好のまま出かけるわけにはいかないでしょ？
まあ、寝巻きのまま出歩くほどだらしなくは。待て。なんて言った？アルクエイド。
今日一日はずっとシキと行動しようと思って。
Oh, okay.
約束を破った埋め合わせしてくれるんでしょ？
Arcueid says it like it's the most natural thing in the world. A whole day. In other words, she wants me to skip school and go out with her.
何言ってるんだ。こっちには学校がだな。
何よ、反省してるって言ったのに、
で
私に学校を取るの？あなたは。
She's got me there. I glance at the clock. The time is just past 9 in the morning. Even if I were to leave for school right this second, I'd still be late. Plus, I did keep Arcueid waiting all night. And besides, if I'm honest, this sounds way more fun. School is for losers, get some input, yeah!
一日はアルクエイドに付き合う。けど、昼間に街に出ても手がかりは何もないんじゃないか。
そこは気にしなくていいよ。だって街を散歩するだけなら昼間でも関係ないんだし。
We going on a date? Ooh.
なんだよ。昨日の夜できなかった分、これから吸血鬼探しをするんじゃないのか。
ええ、もちろん夜になったら調べるわ。けど一日ずっと手伝ってもらうのも大変でしょうから、お昼ぐらいは休んでもいいと思うの。
もっともない意見だけど、二人で街を歩くだけって、それって。
I know we've already spent a good deal of time walking around at night together, but isn't what she's describing now awfully close to what people might consider a date? A vampire like Arcueid probably doesn't think of it like that, and is simply asking me to take her somewhere interesting, but is this for real? Am I really going to spend all day just hanging out with her? No vampire slaying attached?
どうしたの、シキ？顔赤いわよ。
Blush you. Flustered, I hide my face with my hands and look away from Arcueid. Well, I've been alone with her plenty of times before. But each time was in the midst of a crisis. The fact that we were allies working together, a common goal, took precedence over the fact that we were a man and a woman. That's why, despite being aware of just how beautiful Arcueid is, I've been able to put it off my mind. Wait, what? Put it out of my mind? Anyway, whatever, we skipped it. However, if I simply pass the time with her with no overarching danger or objective, I might start to notice things that I shouldn't.
シキ？ねえ、やっぱり学校に行くの？
No.
わけないだろ。 うんと言ったんだから付き合うよ。約束は破らないって言っただろ。どんな気まぐれか知らないけど、街を散歩するぐらいなら問題ないだろうし。
ありがとう、シキ。それじゃあ早速行きましょう。
Yeah! What is she thanking me for? Arcueid bounds over to the window that I'd suspected she'd broke in through.
ちょっと待った。すぐに着替えるから、そこで外でも見ててくれ。
何？呼んだ？
ああ、呼んだけど呼んでない。止めて悪かった。外に出ていてくれ。すぐに追いつくから。
うん、屋敷の正門で待ってるわ。今まで散々待ったんだから、これ以上待たせないでね、シキ。
Arcueid makes a light tapping sound as she exits through the window, a feline grace and fluidity to her movements. I hear the trees in the garden rustling as she leaps from limb to limb. Moving through the treetops rather than on the ground, it disappears from view as nimbly as a cat might. If she can move around like that, sneaking into my room must have been a breeze for her.
感心してる場合じゃないか。俺も翡翠に見つからないよう外に出ないと。
I change out of my pajamas into some casual clothes. Today's a weekday, after all. I'll be taken into protective custody if I go wandering around the city in my uniform when I'm supposed to be in school. Sassy. I crack the door, make sure there's nobody hanging around the hallway, and make my move. Oh. I can't risk going through the lobby, so I use a window in one of the rooms on the first floor to go out into the yard. Big brain. I arrive at the front gate. I choose a more roundabout route to avoid being seen, so it took me a little while to get here. Arcueid is... Ah, there she is.
お待たせ。とりあえず移動しよう、アルクエイド。屋敷の周りにいると、琥珀さんに見つかっちまう。
え？ああ、うん。行くなら早く行こっか。
Compared to her attitude earlier, her reply lacks vigor.
なんだよ、らしくないな。俺を待ってる間に、また何かあったのか？
別に何もなかったけど。
I had emphasized the word again when I asked, but judging from Arcueid's absent-minded response, she didn't pick up on it.
もしかして、昼間だから体調が悪いのか？無理をしてまで出歩く必要はないんだ。苦しいのならやめにしても。
体調は良好なんだけどね。ちょっとこの塀を見ていたら、昨日のことを思い出しちゃって。
昨日のことって、公園で俺をずっと待ってたこと？
Arcueid nods meekly in confirmation.
昨日の夜はここを全力で飛び越えて、そのまま式の部屋に忍び込んだんだけど、今にして思うと不思議だなって。どうして私、あの時あんなに怒ってたんだろう。約束の一つぐらい、今まで何度も果たせなかったのに。
Arcueid folds her arms in deep thought, unable to come up with an answer.
あ、そうだ。式ならわかるかな。いつも私をバカバカって言い伏せるんだから、これぐらいわかるでしょ？
あのな。
If Arcueid herself doesn't even know why she was mad, I don't see how I'm supposed to be able to work it out. I have no idea what goes on in that head of hers. But if I had to hazard a guess... Shave, quick pieces. It's because you're selfish, because you want to take revenge on me, it's because you're a vampire. I don't know. You want to take revenge on me.
そうだな。俺に復讐したいからじゃないか。
復讐？私が式に？
俺は一度アルクエイドを殺しているだろう。ブローブの件で許してはもらったけど、あれはあくまで元に戻せない代わりの補填というか、借金は返せたけど、借りていた時にかけた迷惑は残っているというか。
差し引きが合っているならいいんじゃないの？
Spilled. What's that? The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
In truth, I haven't even done that. I killed Arcueid and then served as her bodyguard afterwards. But then on top of that, she took my throwaway words to heart and protected the city for me. In other words, I feel like I haven't even begun to repay her.
そうだな。感情的な話なんだ、きっと。殺された時のことを思い出すとムカつくだろう。やっぱり許せない。いつかやり返してやるって。
やり返したい気持ちはないでもないけど。だってシキ、一度も待ち合わせ時間を守ってくれないし、そういうところ、今もどうかと思ってるし。
She's like this just because I was late twice? The fact she's actually toyed with the idea of getting payback makes me shudder. I'll arrive on time from now on, even if it kills me.
まあ、そういう前提があるからお前は怒ったんだろうし、俺を憎らしく思ったんじゃないか。
憎らしく。確かにそうかも。私、誰かとこんなに話したことなかったから、わからないけど。
Arcueid looks down, her expression pensive.
じゃあ、シキは私のこと、
No, I
嫌いなの
don't.
かな。
I'm completely blindsided by her question. It was so sudden that I almost stopped thinking. But I remember we're still at the front gate. The sun is shining brightly overhead and I'm already on guard for surprise attacks after my rude awakening. And so...
バカなこと聞くな。好きも嫌いもない。
What do you mean you don't like or hate?
Come on, Shiki. You like her. You like her a lot. Come on.
大体、俺がお前を嫌いだって言ったらどうする気なんだ。見逃してくれるのか。
そんなの力ずくで協力させるけど。
ほら見ろ。好きも嫌いも関係ないじゃないか。感情と目的は別。協力関係ってそういうことだろ。
Great. It seems that my explanation made it through to her. Arcueid normally takes a much more rational view on things. If she's asking me questions like that, then she must have been really furious last night. So be it. I guess I'll do my best to indulge her today, so long as I don't have to put my life in any danger doing so.
疑問は評価しましたか？なら、さっさと移動しよう。
I don't have any real destination in mind, but my first priority is getting us away from the Tono residence. The small hill we're on is set a little ways apart from the city, and the only things up here are the Tono residence and the forest spread out behind it. There's no way that'd be enough to keep Arcueid entertained for long. I guess I'll start by leading her towards the station at the heart of Soya.
Well, but I'ma wrap it up here before the date. Wow. Cliffhanger. Where are they gonna go? They're gonna go to the arcade? They gonna go to eat food? Who knows?
No, next time.
I don't know. I'm good with this.
But yeah, we'll start wrapping up here. So,
there we go. So yeah.
Let me just check something.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a wonderful time.
If it is night, if you have a wonderful night. If it is morning, you have a brilliant morning. I've been your host, Julius and Bloverheaton, and we've been continuing Tsukihime. We got 2 bad ends, finished day 9, and got a little bit through day 10.
That's pretty good progress.
I'm happy with that. So yes, in regards to the next stream, it will be on Friday. What it will be, I have no idea. I'll post details on Twitter. But yeah, I guess this is it for now.
I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye! Wow! Baba Booey Big Neko Arc Chungus. I wish someone would draw a Neko Arc as Chungus.